Hello everyone, so this is Devlog number 4, and for this week I was able to change the HUD, and let me show you guys real quick on how that looks. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. There you go, that's better. So when we start the game, we can see our HUD. So instead of having all of the HUD components into a single row as before, I made it into 2 rows where the level element is on top of the lives element. And I just thought this looks way better. And yeah. And the next thing I did was work on this design for a menu dialog. So the idea for this was that when the user presses the escape key while they're in game, this menu will appear asking them to go whether or not they want to go back to the menu screen or not. And I've been kind of, I wouldn't say procrastinating on it, but there are other things that I wanted to work on first. And one of them was refactoring the way the dialogue the dialogue is shown to the user. And I had to refactor the HUD class in terms of how the dialogue were created. So before we were using the table class to show the dialogue, but I didn't like how it worked because it seemed very a bit messy and very, I don't know how to describe it, but situational, I guess. It only works in one situation. Whereas this way, where now we have a method called open dialog, which takes in these parameters. So a quick note is that this dialog will only have at most 2 buttons. So you can have 1 button or 2 buttons. And here they're labeled as a positive, which is confirm or yes, and then negative, which is no or cancel. And we take advantage of the dialog class, and I wasn't aware of this until I asked Claude or ChatGPT, and I think it works better than the way I had in mind. And yeah, so basically, depending if how we call on this method, it's going to generate a dialog for us. And as you saw, actually no, I haven't shown it yet. But I guess I can show you real quick. So when we make contact with the ball and then the dialog appears like this, notice how there's only 1 button. This button is a positive button. So this is the next level dialog, right? And this is that method that calls on that open dialog, which passes in the message and and here there's this logic where it updates the text depending if you're on the last level or not. So if there's more levels to complete, then it's going to show next level in the button. Otherwise, if you're in the last level and you complete everything, you're going to have the menu button. So it takes you back to the menu. And then, and then here we pass in null. So this basically means that we don't have a negative button. So this only shows 1 button, and yeah, it does only show 1 button. And then now, this is the interesting part, is that we give it a click listener, where when the button gets clicked, these lines of code execute. And in this case, if there's some more levels to load, we move it to the next level. Otherwise, if we press the menu button, we want to reset all of these game settings and then take the user back to the menu screen. So that's just one dialog, right? And there's this dialog where I haven't used it yet because I haven't made the game losable, or you can't lose yet, which I'm still working on. And yeah, and then the other thing you guys saw that I added this week is that when the game is over, the ball stopped moving. The ball stopped moving, and so is the paddle. Because I did notice that when the dialogue appeared, the paddle would still move if you're holding one of the movement keys as the dialogue pops up. And so I made it such that if there's no more blocks both the paddle and the ball, their speed is set to 0, so that's why they stop moving. But as I was trying to work on the confirm dialog today, I think I kind of messed up the logic for that, because now, because I said, the only way or the logic for when the ball and the paddle stop is when there's no more blocks. But in my case, let's say we want to make the confirm the confirm dialog, which is the dialog that will take the user back to the menu screen. Like, what if we have that pop up? Like the logic for that is different when checking if there's no more blocks on the screen. So I'll probably refactor it, and I have an idea on how to do this. And the idea that I have is checking to see if the dialog is visible. If it is, then set the speed to 0. Otherwise, give it a speed. And yeah, so that'll be my focus for next week, hopefully. And yeah, so that pretty much ends my update for this week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.